disorder in the court. A list of the craziest lawsuits of 2013 will make you crazy until you hear the Forbes plan to bring sanity back to our legal system. Slammed with lawsuits. 2013 was full of them, and not all of them were legitimate. Just look at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce's top 10 list of ridiculous suits. Just a couple. Number one, inmates suing beer companies for their life of crime. I'm serious. Then there's the man taking Apple to court for his own addiction to porn. And Emag, you say these are just some more reasons we need tort reform.
Yeah, we should have also had tort reform in health reform. But, you know, I love the other one, the grown man who sues his parents for their indifference to him. I'm wondering if they just need a new battery for their hearing aid. But, you know, here's the thing. The CBO already says that tort costs the U.S. economy more than $350 billion a year. There is a congressional bill that's been out there that would cap awards, that would cap lawyers' fees. It would only allow medical malpractice lawsuits to be brought within a 3-year window statute of limitations on them. So I think that's a good idea. Why not pass that tort reform bill?
All right, Mark Tadgy, what's wrong with that idea?
Well, look, there are frivolous lawsuits. I'll concede that. There's a problem with that. But here on the same show, we're talking about the president being too powerful, and we're going to remove people's redress. We're going to remove the ability of people to go to court and seek redress for unsafe products, for laws that aren't being enforced, for problems that are not being solved, because a small drop in the bucket of a mere tort reform. Every year we hear this. Every year this frivolous suits. Yes, but what's a frivolous suit to Liz may not be a frivolous suit to me.
Okay, but let's put a number on it. So hold on a second, because we can talk about qualitative issues like that. But Steve, let me just talk. Hold on, let me just talk about the annual cost increase of lawsuits. 8.7% a year. That's double the rise of inflation.
Well, that's right, and that's why we should adopt what England has, Britain has, and that is the English rule: the loser pays. If you file a suit and you lose it, you pay the other parties a cost. That reduces frivolous lawsuits, and if you have a real claim, you go with it. But every other country, virtually every other country, has that rule, David. Yeah. We're the only outlier on it.
John, and how often do businesses just settle these things out of court because they don't want to pay the legal fees?
No, it's a good point, and it's easy to point to lawsuit abuse and say we need a national solution to it. But in the same way, Obamacare proponents say we need a national health care solution because one person dies for lack of health insurance. It's got to be stressed that emotion writes a lot of bad legislation, and I think we've learned from Obamacare that we shouldn't legislate health care. Tort reform should occur on the state-by-state level. States should compete for the best laws and let it be done there.
But something has to be done, right, Rich?
Something has to be done. Look, what we've talked about during this whole show, the theme of this whole show is the lack of clarity that is paralyzing a lot of businesses from making the investments that they could be and should be making. It's executive order mischief. It's lawsuit mischief. I think we're leaving 1 to 2 points of GDP growth on the table because businesses don't know what's coming next.
The other thing we didn't mention, by the way, is most politicians are lawyers and they're protecting their own. That's why we don't see these reforms. That's got to be it for this segment. Now, she picked it in early 2013. Then it soared more than 50%. Get that name and then get Emag's new name for the new year. Boy, she's got a great track record. You don't want to miss this.